Hello and welcome to Pauper Open 2023 by Pauper PH. So this is a feature match that was held on November 19, 2023 at Manila, Philippines with a total of 83 participating players, and this is a feature match during the Swiss matches between Ramon Ramos and Michael Cabrera. So I'm here with my friend Jomer, who will be telling us about the decks. So can you please introduce the decks for us, Jomer?
So Ramon uses here Dimir Terror. This is one of the first variants of the Terror decks in Pauper, and Michael here is using Golgari Gardens, which is
it's mostly a control-based deck,
yes,
right?
it's a control
that uses
deck.
Not really with blue, but with green and black.
Yes, it started as a mono block control, but they are using the Golgari Garden as one of these mana base, so it became a two-color deck.
Okay, so currently Ramon mulligan to 6 now.
Yes.
I guess he didn't like the drawn cards on his hand right now.
Yes, because Jupiter is quite hard to keep a very good hand, because your opening must be always good if you're using a tempo deck like Jupiter.
Can you tell us a little bit about what the Terror does, or what card that is?
So Terror is a new card from Dominaria United that has a Ward 2 and a 5/5 creature that can be discounted up to 1 mana. As long as you have instants and sorceries from the graveyard. So Michael here...
Okay, I think both of them mulliganed up to 6 now. And then Michael will be keeping. And if I'm not mistaken, Michael will be playing first.
I think so.
Okay. So ito na, I think mag-start na yung match natin. And people are, okay, they're counting their cards now. Okay, turn 1, play black land and then pass turn. And then Ramon will be playing and then pass. Okay, so during this step, most likely people will be generating their lands. So here you can see Michael on Ramon's end step using a cycling.
Yes, he cycled a troll.
Yeah, cycling a troll.
Which is a 1 mana from cycling from Lord of the Rings.
And fetches a basic black swamp land, okay? And then passes back to Cabrera. Draws for the turn. Man drop. Paying 2 mana to cast a Lembas. Okay, so Jomer, can you please tell us what the Lembas
So Lembas is a new card as well from the Lord of the Rings, which is a 2 mana artifact that scries 1 and draws a card.
Normally, you can see there's a special ability on the Lembas, okay?
Yeah, so this ability is just like a food, so you sacrifice it and you gain 3 life.
Also, normally bumabalik din yung Lembas from the graveyard to the library.
Yes, so parang ano siya, pag ginamit mo siya, lagi siyang mag-shuffle instead of going to the graveyard.
Most likely later on, makikita niyo siya ng paulit-ulit given na medyo may loop powers yung deck na yun.
Yes.
Okay, so back to Michael after passing
so nag-cycle ulit. Sir Mike. I think pangalawang troll na yun.
Yeah.
So,
ngayon,
siya
medyo nag-generate pa rin sila ng mana nila. Nag-aayos lang ng mana base.
So, it took a Haunted Mire, I think?
Yeah, Haunted Mire.
Which is a type dual. Golgari type dual.
Yeah, it's a tap dual land with both swamp and forest, and then just passes the turn. So, at this point, I think parehas sila mana fix na.
Si Ramon ng another type dual.
I think that's what they call the contaminated aquifer with both swamp and island.
So at this point, si Ramon, mapansin natin, wala siyang ginagamit na spell, which is a bad thing para sa akin. Because you need to be using spells or cantrips at this point to fill your graveyard and cast spells, cast
napapansin ko
creatures.
din at some point dapat mga around turn 3 or 4 medyo dapat marami ka ng instant or sorcery spells sa graveyard mo. Medyo napapagamit. And then, bigla na nag-cast. I think that's a Bajuka bug that
he played a land called Bajuka bug, which exiles the opponent's graveyard.
So So, dapat yung kay Ramon right now, pumapalo na siya mga around turn 3 to turn 4 na. Kasi, dapat lumalapag na yung mga terrors niya during those turns alone.
Yes.
Given the fact na wala siyang instant or sorcery sa graveyard niya, medyo may hirapan siya i-cast yung mga terrors na yan. Just very disadvantageous for Ramon at this point. While currently, the more lands na meron si Michael, the more na meron siyang possibility of removing those said creatures na balak pala cast ni Ramon.
Yes. Yeah. So since the terror deck is a tempo deck, so kailangan talaga niyang makast na yung mga creatures as long na mababa pa yung land count ng
Here we
control
have
deck.
a very weird take. Meron yata siyang Dimir Aqueduct.
Yes. So medyo unorthodox siya sa
Medyo
list.
Unusual siya. Normally, we take a look at the list and medyo unusual siya.
And yun, kinounter niya yung Reckoner's Bargain ni Sir Mike.
Okay. Record
Pero bumunot siya from the Icor Wellspring because it went to the graveyard.
Additional casting cost by the Reckoner's Bargain, kailangan mong mag-sacrifice ng artifact.
So another
And
Lembas.
then this is another Lembas. Scry one and then draw. I guess most likely looking for answers for that terror. Normally seeing yung situation, baka we might be wrong here. Given na may Dimir Aqueduct yung si Ramon, baka hindi siya actually UV Terror. It may be a blue-black control on its own.
Yes, possible yun. Di pa rin naman natin nakikita yung mga creatures niya and threats. So, ang nakita pa natin so far is yung counter spell, which is can be anything really.
Yeah, true. At this point, given na medyo control-based na sila pareho and yan,
Another
babatuhan
Bojuka
lang
box.
sila ng Bojuka box. Medyo at mag-iintayan lang sila dito. Pero I think mas may commanding lead si Michael right now kasi given na meron siyang Lembas sa kamay, na in play, napapagalaw rin niya and nakikita rin niya kung ano yung mga draw cards niya. So kapag may hindi siya gusto, scry it, put it down the deck, and then draw the one after it.
Yes, mas marami siyang nakitang cards so far. Since wala pa rin namang kinakas si Ramon na kahit anong cantrip, even brainstorm or anything.
Ano tingin mo nagiging win condition ng ginagamit na deck ni Michael?
So, medyo marami tayong list na iba-iba yung ginagamit, pero technically, ang ginagamit niya yung mga emblem cards. Yun ang win ko ng Golgari.
Anong klaseng emblem cards niya?
So, emblem can be the Monarch, which is the Thorn of the Black Rose, or yung Avenging Hunter from the Green.
Yeah. Okay. So, itong initiative na to, ito yung maraming ginagawa, di ba? Like, given na yung initiative, pag napunta siya, nag-resolve siya, magti-trigger yung initiative ability, tapos nagkakaroon ng maraming shenanigans yung deck. And
Yes,
here, Mr. Cabrera casting a first creature with 6 mana, casting the throne na most likely na-cycle siya kanina.
So, I
Pero
think hindi
galing
pa
yata
siya
sa
nagre-resolve.
kamay
So, nag-respond muna si Ramon
niya.
ng
Respond muna.
mental note. So, it mills a Dispel and a Diabolic Edict. So, Diabolic Edict is quite unpopular din sa mga deck list.
Yeah. Hindi siya masyado nakikita.
So,
And then,
from untapping, so nag-Chainer's Edict agad siya.
nag-Chainer's Edict siya. So, nag-resolve na nga yung troll na yon and then it was removed by the Chainer's Edict. Which forces the player, the opponent, to sacrifice a creature.
Yes. So, medyo wala pa rin nangyayari. Wala pa rin ganap.
So, yeah,
Dalawang deck.
ito yung normally yung nangyayari. Kaya they say that Pauper is actually a very grindy type of format kasi it
So,
normally
yun
squeezes
na.
out.
Nakita
Okay.
na natin ang
So,
isa pang threat.
This is a very threatening card from Michael. This is what they call the Avenging Hunter, which triggers the initiative ability.
So, it resolves.
Okay.
So, resolves, then naghanap siya ng
Okay, the
basic
first,
land.
okay, so ang nangyari, ang nilabas ni Mr. Cabrera, naglapag siya ng what they call a dungeon. Anong tawag mo doon sa dungeon
So,
na yan?
initiative or the Undercity.
Yes, the Undercity. So, yung Undercity na yon, meron siyang series of mazes, and each maze, or actually each series, or each room rather, goes through a specific they do actually different things. So for dun sa pinakauna, search yun ng
So,
land.
yun. So,
And then sa
ang
end step, most likely, kinas down yun na yun. And
however,
ayaw mo
nandun pa rin
remove
ang
the threat.
initiative kay Sir Mike. So, kailangan
Yes.
niya talaga ng threat para manakaw yung kinas na
Yes,
emblem.
by dealing combat damage to the person who owns the initiative right now, or actually casting an initiative then, or a creature with initiative
Yes.
as well.
So, we can see na for 2 mana, he casted a Cryptic Serpent. This is one of the new cards din in Pauper.
Okay, so given na nag-cast na siya kanina ng Mental Note as well as the Cryptic Serpent, where it is actually confirmed na that Mr. Ramon is using a UB Terror deck. So,
Yes.
given na recently lang din kasi na discount ay nagkaroon ng demotion yung Cryptic Serpent na dati kasi siyang uncommon. So, okay, so in response, nag-defile muna, and then in response to the defile, nag-mental note, increasing the graveyard of Mr. Ramon.
And trying to find yung counter probably. However, na-mill niya yung isa pang terror and another mental note. Medyo unfortunate yung mga namimil niya so far. It looks like yung hand ni Sir Ramon is very low on threat, kaya napilitan siyang protect yung card niya, although ito niya nakuha. So what's that card? His price for 2 on the outkeep.
Ernie Mr. Michael, right?
Yes. So dahil nasa kanya pa rin ang initiative, nag-spry siya instead of using dun sa left side, which is nagbibigay ng counters. Dahil wala siyang creature on board.
Okay, so ganun
he
pala,
played
nag-move
another
pa rin siya dun
Bujukabag
sa initiative.
and
right?
played a Icarwell Spring,
Icarwell
right?
Spring, which draws him a card.
And Bujukabag exiles the graveyard again.
Yeah.
That's the second
mga
Bujukabag,
bounce
right?
ito, okay. And then, casting
So
a
it's
Lorien
hard
Reveal.
casted. Yes, Lorien Reveal has been hard casted.
So,
Drawing
which
him 3
enables
cards.
the caster to draw 3 cards, which resolve. Normally, maraming uses yung Lorien Revealed na yan. Originally, it's used for mana fixing.
Yes,
Pero,
early turns.
Early, at the early turns. Pero pagdating niya ng mga medyo late game and you're looking for something, maganda din siyang gamitin to draw 3 cards.
So,
At the same time, additional threat din siya kasi
This is a
mahirap
treasure
yun.
token from the third room of the initiative, the under city.
Yes. Okay, so
So we
dalawa
can't
nga pala
use
yung,
actually the second. There's a choice actually to gold, but there's no creature on board, so it's forced to go into
the treasure.
the treasure one.
Most likely, yun ang gagamitin niya.
So he's
I
using
think it's a Drown in Sorrow, I think. Is it?
He's using Drowning Sorrow, hitting nothing, just to scry.
That's the scry. Okay. So,
Okay.
it's a sorcery speed spell. So, I think naghahanap na talaga ng sagot si Mr. Cabrera at this point.
Oo. Tsaka mukhang dead card din naman kasi ang Drowning Sorrow laban sa Terror.
Oo.
Since lahat ng Terror cards ay more than 2 ang kailang toughness.
Okay. Ganito rin, naghahanap na rin
There's
si
now
Mr.
already
Ramon.
there's now
ng
Brainstorm.
Okay, Brainstorm away, Mr. Ramon. Okay,
Putting
so
back
you
2
put,
cards.
you draw 3 and then you put 2 cards back. Essentially, it's a +1 card.
So
And then milled. I think it's you casted a Consider.
yes, considering
Removing the Snuff Out
Yeah.
kasi technically useless siya.
Snuff Out's basically dead versus mono black deck. However, pwede rin niya gamitin sa Avenging Hunter,
Yeah,
although
yeah.
hindi naman niya siguro concern. And nag-cash siya ulit ng isa pang Cryptic Serpent for like, I think that's 3 mana. And a pass down, which is countered.
Yes, and then casted a counter spell.
Yeah, it paid
And then
2,
casted another cast down. So, very much, very good interaction between these 2 players.
Yes. So, masyadong stock na rin kasi yung hand ni Sir Mike dahil wala talagang ginagawa kanina pa si Ramon at marami na siyang nakuwang card.
So, sa upkeep niya, nag-summon na siya ng isang 4-1 menace na skeleton.
Yes, so may threat na siya.
Up
Pwede mamatake
until
next
this
turn.
point, sa next upkeep niya, mag-unleash na siya ng ultimate, yung pinakahuli ng initiative.
Yes,
which
yung
is-
pinakamalaking room.
Yeah, which is view the top 10 cards of
So So he
that's on the
casted
top of the library.
Deadly Dispute on the Equal Wellspring.
Yeah,
That's one of the best Pauper combos. Ancestral Recall ng Pauper.
Yes. Technically, you could draw 3. Pero given nga na, for example, lalapag mo lang yung Eager Wellspring, it actually draws you 4.
Yes.
For the price of 4 mana.
4 mana plus giving you a treasure, so
Plus
technically
treasure,
3 mana.
So it's a 3 mana draw 4 spell. Medyo sick siya actually. Given it's Pauper, it's legal. What can you do?
So yun, nag-cut siya ulit. Nag-play siya ng Witch's Coven, I think. But I don't know what card is that. Hindi ako black player.
I think Witch's Cottage yun, yes.
Yeah,
so you
Witch's
need
Cottage.
3 swamps in order for it to enter the battlefield not tap. Okay, so initiative trigger. So the initiative trigger reviews the top 10 on the top of your library, and then you choose a creature from it. It gains a +3 with 3 + 3 counters on it with hexproof for 1 turn.
Yes, so
and then choosing
another creature,
which also triggers an initiative an initiative ability. So the thing is with the initiative, it does not go back or does not remove from the battlefield. It actually goes back to the start of the maze. So here you can see that the initiative ability is pretty broken.
Yes, especially kung hindi na siya maagaw at naka-accumulate na sa
At this point, Mr. Cabrera is actually in the lead right now. Given wala na masyadong makast na spells, or actually, wala na makast na spells si Mr. Ramon. Sa spot removal na lang siya ni Mr. Michael. And hindi niya na maagaw yung initiative at this
so
point.
he made an illegal play here. He tries to
target the
snuff out her hexproof. Yeah. He tries to snuff out. No. In-snuff out niya yung may hexproof kanina.
Okay. So illegal move yun. Pwede naman yun ibalik kasi since hindi naman siya nag-resolve, it's an illegal move.
So Edict again.
Edict here. Removing the skeleton and then casting I think this is the 4th creature that was cast by Mr. Ramon. The third. Okay, so it's the 3rd one. So this is where the UB Terror deck's name was coined out of. The Tolarian Terror deck. So just casting a bunch of 5/5s with wards and hopefully maagaw niya yung initiative. But given na medyo marami ng blockers,
and nag-cast din pa siya ng hard-casted Deep Analysis, throwing him 2 cards.
Medyo tapped out siya. So I think that's signs of desperation right now for Mr. Ramon.
Most likely, wala na siyang interaction sa kamay and kay Sir Mike pa rin ang initiative at binigyan niya ng +2/+2 counters. Si Gurmag, giving him 7/7 blocker.
So you can see here, medyo malakas na yung abuse ng initiatives dito sa
hindi na abot ng mga terror na 5/5 lang, and yun pa binaksakan pa ng Edict.
The Edict, yes.
From his side, and mukhang malaking creature na naman po. It's a flashback.
I think
from the Chainer's Edict.
I think this battle is pretty much done.
Yes.
Pero I think inihintay na lang ni Mr. Ramon to go through the end and see. I guess baka meron pa siya makita about information.
I think that's 8 and 7, that's 15 damage.
Yes,
so down to 1 life.
Down to 1 right now. I'm not sure if
kung ako dito, nag-concede na ako.
Wala yatang burn spell yung deck ni Mr. Michael. Mostly, they use combat damage, no? Para sa
So medyo mahirap mag-comeback using UB Terror since pili lang ang cards mo. And hindi sasapat yung 8
medyo iba yung interaction minsan hindi ka talaga makakakuha ng counters off of it.
Yes, so sa upkeep is going to die anyway kahit may removal siya since meron tayong lose 5 life.
And Mr. Ramon definitely scoops up, and this is Mr. Michael's win for this round.
It took a very long time sa game 1. Dahil ganun talaga ang mga Golgari decks, matagal talagang manalo.
Yeah, pero syempre sa early, tatry pa rin nila, lalo na kapag very aggressive yung kalaban nila. Medyo tatry nila i-delay as much as possible yung yung fight nila with an aggro deck. So given na medyo tempo rin naman yung deck, I think dun sa laban nila ni Mr. Ramon at saka ni Mr. Cabrera kanina, yung kay Ramon, hindi siya masyado pumutok per se nung early turns kasi naghahanap pa yata siya ng UB Terror at that point pero na-keep niya na. So ano tingin mo dapat yung kinikip ni Mr. Ramon na yung mga early hand niya para...
So hindi natin nakita doon sa video yung actual hand niya. Pero so far nakita natin na nag-multi-six siya. And mukhang nag-keep din siya ng very slow hand since wala siyang kinakast na cantrips like yung brainstorm or yung mental notes. And mukha rin wala siyang counterspell dahil nakaka-resolve yung mga cards ni Sir Mike ng mga early turns. So, di ko alam kung anong kinip niya pero it's probably not a good keep na nag-cost ng game 1 para sa kanya.
Okay, so this is the second game now. Best of 3 between Mr. Michael and Mr. Ramon. I guess turn 1 will now be going to Mr. Ramon. Plays an island and passes the turn.
So,
and then for Ramon, passes over. Mr. Michael plays a Golgari Garden, which actually summons him a 0-1 plant token.
Yes, so kaninang game 1, di natin nakita si Golgari Garden dun sa deck niya. So ngayon lang natin siyang makitang
So kaya siya tinawag na blue-black or Golgari Gardens because of that gardens word. Ginagamit kasi siya as an additional creature to sacrifice para makapagawa ng
casted on end step. So Sir Ramon nagcast ng brainstorm sa end step, I think. So nagbalik siya ng 2 cards. So sa end step yung brainstorm niya. And then play another land.
Okay, so main phase now, play a land, and then passes the turn. Over to Mr. Cabrera, draws a card. Okay. So Manifix na, meron ng green and black, casting 2 for another Lambas.
Yes,
so will it resolve? It does. Okay, so scry 1 and then draw.
So normally hindi naman talaga kailangan counterin ang Lembas. It's only
actually,
a cantrip.
Ko nga yun, should the Lembas be countered or not? Pero given ba na okay, so nag-island cycling si Mr. Ramon sa end step. Given ba na kailangan ng instant or sorcery spells ni Mr. Ramon sa graveyard niya, and let's say may counter spell siya in hand, ka-counterin mo ba yun? Tingin mo, Joe?
No. Normally, hindi mo talaga siya kailangan counterin ang mga cantrips since they don't give any card advantage. And mas magandang gamitin mo yung mana mo to bin more cards like using the Island Cycle or using Brainstorm. Since playing 1-2 mana cards is bad tempo para sa ganyang deck.
True. Okay. So I think currently now, pinasa natin yung Sir Michael yung currently thinking. I think nandun pa din siya sa scry. Okay. So tap land the shot,
tap land and
scry
go.
draw, and then just pass the turn.
So it's probably waiting for Sir Ramon to tap out here if he has a Deadly Dispute in hand.
Highly likely sa end step ni Mr. Ramon, the Deadly Dispute si Mr. Michael. So what does the Deadly Dispute do, John?
So yung kanina, nakita na natin yung lakas ng Deadly Dispute by sacrificing any artifact or creature para mag-draw 2. So I think that's a cycling again.
I think that's swamp. The troll, the swamp cycling troll na kaninang later on na-cast ni Mr. Cabrera during the first game.
Yes. So, mukhang walang dispute or hindi niya ginamit ang dispute since hindi nag-tap out si Sir Ramon. Dahil mahirap pag na-counter ang dispute sa ganitong klaseng deck. Since yun ang talaga isa sa mga ways mo para magkaroon ng card advantage.
Pero hindi siya nangyari kapag nasa counter siya. Medyo nagiging disadvantages din siya kasi kailangan niyo mag-sacrifice ng additional permanent para makast yun.
Yes. So yun din yung issue kapag mahilig kang mag-cast and na-counter yung cards mo, nadadagdagan yung instant. So that's a duress.
It's a duress.
Duress is a sideboard card probably. Or maybe a main board card, pero madalas sideboard siya.
Most likely ngayon sa meta ngayon, duress is now actually a sideboard card.
Yes.
So medyo questionable kung ika-counter niya ba or hindi, pero I think willing na si Mr. Ramon. Okay, and it resolves.
So hindi niya kailangan i-counter yan unless dalawa ang kanyang counter.
Yes.
Since yun lang naman ang pakay ni Sir Mike dito is to get yung counter spells para ma-resolve yung kung ano mang gusto niya sa kamay.
At the same time, magbibigyan ka rin ng advantage kasi makikita mo din yung actually hand ng kalaban mo.
Yes, so nakikita na natin, sinusulat ni Sir Mike. ang mga nakasulat. Mga cards sa kamay ni Sir
Medyo
Ramon.
nakakalimutan ng mga tao na pwede ka kasi magsulat, di ba?
Yes.
So, hindi mo naman kailangan intindihin yung mga sinulat mo. Pero kailangan mo rin parang additional remembering tactic din siya sa
Yun ang isa sa mga perks ng paggamit ng pen and paper sa sa competitive play is if you're using the rest or anything na nagkapakita ng kamay.
Actually, highly recommended nga ang pen and paper kasi given na, to keep trace of everything to the point yung cards na hawak, to the point yung life ng kalaban mo, nakikita siya, and every turn na monitor mo siya. So, maganda nga na mayroon ka laging pen and paper, lalo na kapag medyo mahirap.
So, ang pinili niya is yung cast down, Mr. Ramon.
Wala siyang counter spell, no?
Yes, walang counter spell. So, may nakita tayong Snap, may nakita tayong Lorien. Pero, I think Lorien is now too late enough para matanggalin. It's 4 lands na Sir Ramon.
Pwede mo din kasi, di ba, gamitin yung yung island cycling na yun bago mag-resolve yung Jomer para makakuha ka.
Para hindi mawala sa kamay.
Pero I don't think that it makes sense, di ba?
Yes, dahil marami na rin naman siyang kamay at marami na rin siyang land para gamitin pa yung cycling na yan.
Okay,
so since alam na niyang walang counter spell si Sir Ramon,
pwede na siya maglapag ng threat.
Pero mukhang hindi, Snap.
Okay, so nag-resolve. Sinap niya ang Golgari Garden.
Habang nasa stock,
no?
yes.
Right?
Hindi ko rin sure at hindi ko rin alam bakit hindi siya nag-untap.
It's a different, medyo kakaibang play yun. Baka may plano si Mr. Ramon sa end step or during sa main phase niya.
It's probably a setup for an edict, yes.
Diba? So, meron naman siyang black in play. Baka nga edict yan sa end step.
Yes, since may nakita na tayong Diabolic Edict.
And there you go, meron siyang Diabolic Edict in hand na ginamit na rin sa end step.
Pero yun nga, ang problema pa rin ay meron pa rin siyang initiative. Yes.
And here we are, look, a Lorien with a hard cast that draws 3 cards.
So hopefully, makahanap na ng threat Mr. Ramon.
And that is a land drop. I believe that is a very nice looking island. Thinking, okay. So, at this point...
Mabother ako sa islands ni Sir Ramon dahil magkakaiba siya.
Is that OCness mo ba yan, Jomer? Okay, so dito tayo sa turn ni Mr. Michael. Looking at kahit wala naman creature, nagtitrigger pa din yung initiatives. Right? Okay. I think nag-cast siya ng Lembas. Tama ba? Lembas ba yun?
I think that's a land.
Oh, okay. So ito, nag-cast siya ng Nihil Spellbomb, which is actually one of the mostly sideboardable cards for black players.
Yes, because it's a one-sided relic progenitus or one-sided graveyard hate.
Yeah, it also draws a card if you pay 1 black mana. Pero pwede mo rin siya gamitin.
Yes,
like for right now,
natin.
Ginamit siya ni Mr. Michael, pinasabog niya yung graveyard ng opponent niya. Pwede mo siya gamitin sa sarili mong graveyard, di ba?
Yes, target player siya.
Okay.
And so, I don't think na may reason ka para gawin yun.
Siyempre. Pero the technicality of Magic kasi is there when you have to view it.
Yes.
Okay, so here, hard cast, deep analysis. So, pay siya ng 4 mana and then draws 2 cards. Later on, pwede niya rin siya i-cast with the flashback cost of pay 3 life.
Yes.
And then 1 blue and 1 generic. So,
pero medyo maganda ang timing ng Spellbomb dun dahil nawalan na naman po ng instant sorceries si Sir Ramon sa graveyard.
And so given nga na wala na siyang graveyard, nahihirapan na naman siya.
Yes,
mag-cast
hindi na naman niya maagaw ang initiative.
Okay, so gumagalaw na naman yung initiative trigger. Ano yung card na nilapag ni Mr. Cabrera,
so another treasure from the third room.
Marami kasing treasure na art eh. Okay, so nandun siya dun sa treasure room art.
So and another 5 mana?
It's a Gurmag Angler. So nag-excel siya ng 2. So may delve ability yung Gurmag. You can actually cast the Delver for 1.
Yes.
Sa case ngayon ni Mr. Michael, kinast lang niya siya for 5. Exiling 2 additional cards from the graveyard.
Yes, hindi niya sinagad. Ay, hindi, sinagad na niya actually. Pero Yun lang ang kanyang graveyard so
Oo.
far.
So, mental
nakita
note
natin,
yata ito And then a draw card.
So, nag-mill siya ng tao, I think. That's a Terror or a Cryptic Serpent.
Okay, very disadvantageous for him at this point.
Yes. Yun ang consequence ng blind mill na tinatawag.
Yeah, kasi hindi ka sure. Normally, ginagawa nila yon, nagbe-brainstorm muna sila before they do that.
Yes, yun talagang optimal play. Pero mukhang wala siyang brainstorm.
And here, resolving a Cryptic Serpent most likely will be
So may
removed.
1 mana siya to protect the serpent, but I don't think kakayanin niya i-protect ito.
Meron bang 1 mana card na kayang mag-protect niyan?
Dispel probably, or Spell Pierce, pero medyo late na para sa Spell Pierce.
Yeah.
Pero may blockers.
Early on talaga, kung kaya mo nang gamitin yung Spell Pierce na early, gawin mo na eh. Kasi talaga. Otherwise, at the later turns, magiging dead card talaga siya.
Pero yun, since 7 mana na si Sir Mike, pwede na siya mag-flashback ng Chainers, pero mukhang
paying 4 mana here.
Hindi niya gagawin yan dahil nagpe-play around.
Ang gagawin mo, Sir Michael, okay. Okay, thinking, binalik. Floating now, okay, for 1. What will it be?
It's a
defile. Okay, so nagbilang siya ng kanyang number of swamps.
I think he has probably 6 swamps now.
Okay, so
1 garden,
kills,
6, 7.
Given that the serpent is a 6/5 creature, pwede yun. Actually, pwede mo na naman siya targetin, pero hindi mo siya mapapatay not unless you have enough number of swamps. Diba?
Yes, because yung count ng defile is depende sa swamp.
Nakadepend siya sa number of swamps ng player na nag-cast.
So, nagbujuk bag again, Sir Ramon.
I don't think na...
Then casted another, Terror. Cryptic Serpent. Actually, that's a Cryptic Serpent. So, mas mahina significantly ang Serpent even though 6/5 siya dahil wala siyang ward.
Wala siyang ward. It's not enough to protect it.
So, yun. So, makikita natin na kailangan na niyang protektahan. So, we countered the defile. So, yun ang risk, diba? So, kung Terror yan, na-pressure sana yung mana ni Sir Mike. Pero, hindi dahil marami pa rin siyang mana. Dahil walang ward, Cryptic Serpent. So, yun, nakita natin ang hard cast, snap out. Hindi na nag-play around sa Spell Pierce, Sir Mike.
Yes. Medyo mahirap na rin, I think, at this point. Advantage will be coming over from Mr.
So,
Michael.
So, nandun na sa last room again. So, yun talaga. Once na mapasok mo talaga ang emblem, babaksak talaga yan hanggang dulo.
Rats, yes.
Ayan na ang Clip Rats. Yan ang pang-wincon.
What they call the daga. Ngayon, ang Clip Rats kasi, ang pinaka-kwenta niya is yung ability niya na nagdi-deal ng 1 damage to each creature and each opponent. Or actually, mali, each creature and each player. Ngayon, given na tatlo, may additional siyang 3 +1/+1 counters at may hexproof siya, hindi siya kasi kasali siya eh. Kapag mag-isa lang siya, like 1/1 lang siya, pag ginamit mo siya for 1, mamamatay din siya. Pero pwede mo siya i-on stack.
So, matake sa combat phase.
Combat phase na.
Skeleton.
Take lang yun. 16.
Yes, since no blockers.
Na siya.
So, turn ni Sir Ramon, nag-flashback ng deep analysis, probably, taking 3 damage.
At this point, yung Cryptic Rats na nag-ultimate na yan, hindi na yan mawawala sa board. Kasi not unless gumamit siya ng snap or something.
Although, kung gusto pa rin mapatay ni Sir Mike ang mga Terror, kailangan pa rin mag-play ng 5.
Mga 5 mana.
So, mamamatay pa rin si Crypt Rats.
Mamamatay pa rin si Crypt Rats. Pero, at the same time, masasaktan din si Mr. Ramon kasi it also deals 5 damage to all players. That also includes Mr. Mike.
So, yun din yung isa sa mga reason bakit niya ginamit hard cast yung snuff out dahil ayaw niyang maging lower yung life niya kay Sir Ramon para magamit niya ng maayos yung Crypt Rats.
I think nai-enroll yata ang difficulties sa monitor pero I think down to 13 na yata si Mr. Ramon at this point.
So doon tayo mag-face.
Correction lang doon sa ang mas may pinafollow natin is yung nandun sa phone actually that manages the life.
So, ayan, nakita natin for 4 mana. Terror.
4 mana Terror kasi wala na yung graveyard ni Mr. Ramon. Medyo mahirap na i-cast yung kanyang Golgari Terror at this point.
So another cast down for 4 mana because of the ward.
May additional ward 2 siya so he had to pay 4 mana to do that. Which also triggers So pwedeng matarget mo siya At the same time, you can opt to not pay the ward. Pero maka-counter yung kinas mo na yun.
Yes. So, mukhang babalik na ulit tayo sa first room and I believe na exact na or sagad na yung damage na malidil ni Sir Mike dito. Dahil meron siyang probably 8 swamps and combat damage deal 7. Yes, it's actually lethal now. Pero hindi ginawa ni Sir Mike.
I think Mr. Michael likes to play from a very controlling standpoint na hindi niya gagawin yun hanggat hindi siya sure. Kahit given na lethal na siya, ayaw niya pa rin mabawasan ng life. Pero at this point, yung
playing
daga
around
na yan,
probably kung may cast down or
that's down to 5.
Probably gagawin niya sa upkeep.
Sa upkeep or sa end step actually ni Mr. Ramon. And that's game. Okay, so game goes into nothing with game 2.
Yes, just 2 games for Sir Mike. Very clean gameplay.
Very clean, although there was a first illegal standpoint nung game 1 nila.
Yes.
Tinarget. Pero normally din kasi medyo confusing din ang mga initiative directions during
dahil
kasi
medyo
maraming maraming ginagawa eh. So, hindi naman napapansin ng mga tao na may hexproof pala yun. Right? So, ngayon nakita naman natin yung interaction in between yung black green gardens na yan at saka yung UB Terror. So, at this point, medyo may commanding lead talaga yung control deck yung Gardens. Kasi, to the point na kapag walang ginagawa yung, kahit walang ginagawa yung Gardens, nagdo-draw lang siya. Parang nahihirapan din yung UB Terror gumawa ng kahit ano. Kasi, parang minsan hindi niya pa alam kung dapat bang mag-hold siya or hindi. So, here we are ending the feature match between Mr. Michael and Mr. Ramon. I guess more features will come to you now for the next, and just stay on.